What's going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the bare minimum, and I'm your boy Bryant. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the All-Star break and what to watch for against the Bucks tonight. We're back from a much-needed All-Star break, but tell me, Knicks Nation, didn't it feel fun just to be represented in this year's festivities? We had Julius Randle in the All-Star game, and he looked like he had an absolute blast, despite only scoring 4 points and his team getting smoked 170 to 150. We also had Obi Toppin put on a show for us in arguably the worst dunk contest in NBA history. But it was only the worst because these judges were smoking something if they really thought blowing on the rim and dunking was as impressive as a between the legs dunk. Now I know it wasn't Obi's best dunk, but Simons literally just blew on the rim and did the most basic dunk in the 2K dunk package. It's alright, Obi. New York knows what's up, and we know you should have had that one. I learned 2 things this weekend. Number 1, Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars are the most OP duo in music history. And the second is that we shouldn't have an All-Star weekend in one day or in a pandemic. It just felt like a boring event. The only real time that I had fun was watching Steph Curry chef up the competition in the three-point contest and then realizing that Giannis was right. This game was over when the teams were drafted. But speaking of Giannis, the Knicks kick off the second half of their season in Milwaukee tonight and look to build on the hope that they gave us in the first half of the season. The biggest challenge with that is that the New York Knicks have one of the toughest second half schedules in the NBA. So we're going to find out real quick if we were for real or if we're a fluke. The Bucks lost to us in our first matchup of the season in blowout fashion, 130 to 110. Julius Randle led us with 29 points, but if we're being honest, the Bucks just couldn't hit a bucket from behind the arc. They shot 7 for 38, which is just 18%, while the Knicks shot 16 for 27, which is 59. So what do the Knicks have to do to start off the second half of the season strong? The first is that the Knicks have to treat this game like a playoff game. Whether or not you want to admit it, these are 2 of the premier teams in the Eastern Conference right now. And if the Knicks want to be considered the real deal, they're going to have to start beating teams that are ahead of them. So with that out of the way, the next thing the Knicks have to focus on is the battle on the boards. The New York Knicks have a record of 3-12 when they let their opponents out-rebound them. In the last game against the Bucks, the Knicks were successful in doing this. And this was quite the task because the Bucks actually ranked 6th in the conference in offensive rebounding and 2nd in the entire league in total rebounds. They also have to contain the 3-ball. As I mentioned earlier, the Bucks had a tough time converting in that area against the Knicks. But for the season, the team ranks 5th in threes made with 14.5 a game and 4th in efficiency, shooting at a 38.8% clip. Finally, the Knicks' 1-2 punch has to outplay theirs. The last game we played them was back in December, and Chris Middleton and Giannis combined for 49 points, which beat out Barrett and Randle's 46. But the plus-minus is what told the story of the game. Where the Bucks duo combined for a negative 36, the Knicks combined for a plus 33. The biggest takeaway in all this is that the New York Knicks have to be up for this game. They got to start creating some separation from teams 6 through 11. But what I love about this team is that they're built around defense and effort. So if they continue to build upon those 2 principles, I think they're going to have a pretty successful second half of the season. That's your bare minimum for the Knicks and the Bucks. Please let me know in the comments section below how many wins you guys think the Knicks are going to have in this tough second half. Also, make sure to please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm your boy Bryant Marcos, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.